thought it was there.
She's about to go into that green folder.
She's
She's
pulling
about to
that
go into that
green
green folder.
Springfield Board of Mayor and Aldermen regular meeting is called to order. Please stand and we'll have the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for being here tonight. 1.2, the approval of the minutes for the regular meeting of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen held on January 18th, 2022. Do I have a motion? Motion made by Alderman Green, second by Vice Mayor Harris. Are there any corrections? No corrections, we're ready to vote. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. We're ready for our legislative agenda. 2.1, discuss and possible take action on ordinance 21-33 on the third and final reading. An ordinance rezoning 3 parcels located at or near 1117 Batts Boulevard from Commercial Service District to Core Commercial District. Motion made by Alderman Gregg and a second by Alderman Green to discuss. Any questions on this third and final reading?
Approved for it to be approved.
Okay. No questions? We're ready for a vote. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. 2.2, discuss and possible take action on ordinance 22-01 on a first reading. Ordinance rescinding ordinance 21-05 in its entirety, establishing a new schedule of fees and charges for play at the Legacy Golf Course. Do we have a motion to discuss? Motion made by Alderman Green, a second by Vice Mayor Harris. I will now call on Ms. Brickles to read this.
Ordinance 22-01, an ordinance rescinding ordinance 21-05 in its entirety and establishing a new schedule of fees and charges for play at the Legacy Golf Course. Whereas a schedule of fees and charges for play at the Legacy Golf Course was approved by the City of Springfield Board of Mayor and Aldermen through the adoption of Ordinance 21-05, and whereas the Board desires to amend the schedule of fees for the Legacy Golf Course upon the recommendation of Cornerstone Golf Partners Incorporated, and whereas Article 4, Section 13 of the Charter of the City of Springfield requires that the establishment of fees and charges be accomplished through legislative action, which must be exercised by ordinance. Now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of Springfield, Tennessee as follows. The schedule of fees for play at the Legacy Golf Course is hereby amended by rescinding ordinance 21-05 in its entirety and substituting a new schedule of fees to read as set forth in Exhibit A attached. This ordinance and schedule of fees for the Legacy Golf Course as set forth in Exhibit A attached shall become effective following its third and final reading. All ordinances, resolutions, and policies in conflict herewith are rescinded to the extent of the conflict only.
Thank you. I'll call on our city manager, Mr. Ryan Martin.
Thank you, Mayor. Normally, we would bring this to you all around budget time to coincide the fee increase with the beginning of the fiscal year. Obviously, you all know what's going on with the economic circumstances and supply chain and cost of goods increases. Chet Frazier, who's the general manager of the golf course, it's with Cornerstone Golf Partners, brought this to us and asked if we could go ahead and move this through. This would get us done with 3 readings. February, March, and April would get us ready. It would just be 2 months earlier. I know it seems really early to start, but it would be 2 months earlier to implement. You can see that Chet put together a lot of information as well as some comparisons for golf courses around the area, and we are well within, even after the increase, well within where we would need to be. And Mr. Frazier's here tonight if anyone has any questions.
Well, and we have the best golf course in Tennessee, in my opinion, and we know that fertilizer has gone up and everything else. So I think this is right in line with where we need to be.
I second that.
Any questions, discussion? No discussion? We're ready for a vote. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. 2.3, discuss and possible take action on ordinance 22-02 on a first reading. Ordinance amending the fiscal year 2022's annual budget by amending certain general fund and utility fund operating budgets. Motion made by Alderman Hubbard, a second by Alderman Green to discuss. Ms. Brickles?
Ordinance 22-02, an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2020 annual budget for the City of Springfield by amending certain general fund and utility fund operating budgets. Whereas it is necessary to amend the City of Springfield annual budget for the fiscal year 2022 in order to meet the requirements of the city charter. Now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of Springfield, Tennessee, that the City of Springfield annual budget for fiscal year 2022 is hereby amended to make necessary changes to expenditures and revenues within the funds and departments as set forth in Exhibit A attached. All ordinances, resolutions, and policies in conflict herewith are hereby rescinded to the extent of the conflict only.
Thank you. Mr. Martin?
Thank you, Mayor. You'll see in your packet, this one is a budget amendment. We did not budget for a facilities use study that we discussed at strategic planning just a few weeks ago. So we have issued that RFP. We have no idea, I'll just be honest, no idea what that's going to cost. We have targeted a number of $60,000, so we have started the budget amendment with $60,000 allocated to the various funds. You'll see how that's allocated. General fund will be taken care of by excess sales tax revenue, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. But $60,000 is kind of our starting number. The RFPs or the proposals are due on March the 3rd, so we should have a little bit more information next month as far as what this might, as far as a time frame and a cost on the RFP.
Okay,
Think it-
questions?
Can it be more than that, you think?
It could be a lot more than that. We think, based on what we saw, that 60,000 is a good number. Our hope really is that it comes in around 30 or 40, maybe a little less than what we've targeted.
It's hard to know what the prices of anything are today. Any questions? No questions? We're ready for a vote. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. 2.4, discuss and possible take action on ordinance 22-03 on a first reading. Or ordinance rezoning a portion of 2 parcels located on Fifth Avenue East from Commercial General District to High Density Residential District. Motion made by Alderman Green and a second by Alderman Hubbard to discuss. Ms. Brickles?
Ordinance 22-03, an ordinance rezoning a portion of 2 parcels located on Fifth Avenue East from Commercial General District CG to High Density Residential District R7. Whereas applications for rezoning were presented to the Springfield Planning Commission, one application by John T. and Bonnie Johnston, owners, and Josh Lyon, authorized agent, requesting a portion of 1 parcel, tax map 80F, Group F, Parcel 2 of the tax maps of Robertson County, Tennessee, plus or minus 1.45 acres located on Fifth Avenue East, be rezoned from Commercial General District to High Density Residential District. A second application by Nancy Wilkes, owner, and Samantha Arms, authorized agent, requesting a portion of 1 parcel, tax map 80F, Group F, Parcel 8 of the tax maps of Robertson County, Tennessee, plus or minus .50 acres, located at 810 Fifth Avenue East, be rezoned from Commercial General District to High Density Residential District. Whereas the Springfield Planning Commission has reviewed the applications and voted with a favorable recommendation for these parcels to be rezoned. Now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Mayor and Aldermen of Springfield, Tennessee, as follows. A portion of 1 parcel plus or minus 1.45 acres owned by John T. and Bonnie Johnston located at Fifth Avenue East, tax map 80F, Group F, Parcel 2 of the tax maps of Robertson County, Tennessee. A portion of 1 parcel plus or minus 0.50 acres owned by Nancy Wilkes located at 810 Fifth Avenue East, tax map 80F, Group F, Parcel 8 of the tax maps of Robertson County, Tennessee, and both parcels totaling plus or minus 1.95 acres and being more fully described by Exhibit A attached, are hereby rezoned from Commercial General District to High Density Residential District. This rezoning shall become effective following its 3rd and final passage as required by law.
Thank you. Questions? Discussion? No discussion? We're ready for a vote. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. 2.5, discuss and possible take action on Resolution 22-05, a resolution authorizing the City of Springfield Parks and Recreation Department to apply for the 2022 Local Parks and Recreation Fund grant. Motion made by Alderman Hubbard, a second by Alderman Arnold. Any discussion?
Yes, I just want to commend Mr. Martin again and his group for really consolidating, going after grants and stuff, because this would give it'll complete a whole lot of projects that we wanted to do years ago, especially the one down at the dog park in that area. So I just want to commend you on searching, being a hound dog and finding that money.
Keep digging. Any questions? We're all about him applying for these.
It's about the money.
We're ready for a vote. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. 2.6, discuss and possible take action on Resolution 22-06, a resolution declaring certain properties surplus and authorizing the disposal of such properties. Motion made by Alderman Hubbard, a second by Alderman Green. This is our monthly disposal. No questions? We're ready for a vote. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. 2.7, discuss and possible take action on Resolution 22-07, a resolution amending the personnel policy designating Juneteenth as a city holiday. Motion made by Alderman Arnold, a second by Alderman Green to discuss. We added this, and now we have to, sir?
Yep, it's formally adopting it. We had it on the agenda last month to discuss, and you all voted, and when we went back to make that change, the personnel policy can only be amended by resolution. So we're bringing you the formal resolution to adopt that 12th holiday this month.
Okay,
And
sir?
I would just like to reiterate to some people who may not have kept up with the history of America, the main emphasis on freedom. Freedom is bring the Constitution together for we the people and stuff. So, I'm just so happy that this board is recognizing this, and I feel that our city exemplify what diversity is and what's living the Constitution is. So I just say I'm putting it out there, a lot of Americans need to go back and take civics so they can understand freedom. And freedom ain't free because I fought for it from the Orient all the way over to Germany. That's all I have to say on that.
Okay, other discussion? No other discussion, we're ready for a vote. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. 2.8, discuss and possible take action on Resolution 22-08 on a first reading. A resolution annexing property owned by John T. Johnston and Bonnie Johnston, located on Fifth Avenue East and Stevens Lane. Motion made by Alderman Arnold and a second by Alderman Green to discuss. Questions? No questions on this property? Okay,
Does it have to be read? Is it just resolution?
it's just a resolution. Any questions? No questions? We're ready for a vote. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. 2.9, discuss and possible take action on Resolution 22-09, a resolution accepting an irrevocable letter of credit for Poplar Ranch Ventures LLC to guarantee the completion of streets and drainage improvements in Eden Point subdivision Phase 1. Motion made by Alderman Green and a second by Alderman Hubbard to discuss. Housekeeping. Any questions? No questions, we're ready for a vote. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. 2.10, discuss and possible take action on Resolution 22-10, A resolution changing the name of a portion of 17th Avenue East located between Memorial Boulevard and Rose Street to Rose Street. Motion made by Alderman Green and a second by Alderman Hubbard to discuss. Okay? Questions?
That's in my area.
Yes, sir.
So I approve of it.
Okay. No other discussion? We're ready for a vote. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Our administrative portion, 3.1. Discuss and possible take action on the adjustments of the retail electric rates of the Springfield Electric Department due to the wholesale fuel cost adjustments by the Tennessee Valley Authority. Motion made by Alderman Hubbard, a second by Alderman Green to discuss. Ms. Jessica's filling in tonight. Thank you for being here. What are the rates?
There is a slight increase, it's just less than 1% higher than last month. And this will result in on average, 54 cent to 85-cent increase in electric bills for the month of March.
Okay. Questions, discussion?
We won't get mad at you.
We'll take it out on Steve next month.
Fair enough.
Okay. Make sure he knows that. No discussion? We're ready for a vote. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. 3.2, discuss and possible take action on the adjustments in the monthly gas rates of the Springfield Gas Department. Motion made by Alderman Hubbard, a second by Alderman Gregg. Mr. Riddle.
Good news, the PGA purchase gas adjustment's now 16.4%.
Good. Good news.
You my man.
Something needs to go down, Bryce. Any questions? No questions, we're ready for a vote. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. 3.3, discuss and possible take action to approve an appointment of the Springfield-Robertson County Joint Airport Board. Motion made by Vice Mayor Harris, a second by Alderman Gregg. Any questions on this appointment?
No
Sir.
question, but can I comment?
Absolutely.
That beautiful lady has struggled and worked with that board and argued and fussed for 20-odd years.
I think she might know something.
I highly recommend her be appointed to that board.
We're just grateful
Judy.
you will, that you will, are willing to serve.
Yes.
Thank you, I think.
Don't change your mind.
You can't back out now. Any questions? No questions, we're ready for a vote. Anyone want to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
All jokes aside, Ms. Holt, thank you so much for stepping up and saying you'll
You're in the
serve.
army now.
3.4, discuss and possible take action to approve a service agreement with medical analyst GHV to provide an employee health and wellness clinic for the employees of the city of Springfield. Motion made by Alderman Green, a second by Alderman Hubbard to discuss, and I'm going to call on our city manager, Mr. Ryan Martin.
Thank you, Mayor. It's finally here, our agreement for the clinic. It's also going before the Robertson County School Board tonight at their meeting, and will go before the county commission not next Monday, but the Monday after that, the 28th, I guess. This is a three-way partnership between the Robertson County School System, the City of Springfield, and Robertson County government to provide an employee clinic. The county is going to host the clinic at the WIC building that they own, which is on Brown Street. The unique thing there is it's already set up for a clinic, so there's minimal things that need to be done. All of the upfront costs will be taken care of by the school system via a grant that they have. We are having other discussions, Ms. Barty and Mr. Richard, the county's attorney, and I and Chris Causey and others, Mayor Vogel, are discussing how to set up the agreement for the arrangement of who's going to pay for what as far as maintenance costs and that sort of thing. But as far as operating the clinic itself, this is the agreement before you tonight. If you look at the very back page, if you look at the bottom section where it says cost overview, and in parentheses it says shared clinic, The total annual fixed cost of the clinic is $450,000 under the 3-provider model, okay? Because we're in a diluted pool in that partnership, our cost, the other entities will pick up $387,000 of that. So our cost is just $63,000, which is the prorated portion of fixed and variable cost, or roughly about $70,000. If you look at hard cost savings that we expect to receive are about $62,000. And because we are self-funded, this is what makes this most lucrative for us, because we're self-funded on our health insurance. We expect to have about $160,000, and that's an approximate figure. It could be more, it could be a little less, in our health insurance claims. So this clinic, not only does it not cost us anything, okay, but we get a benefit of $150,000 to our health insurance plan, which is the fund that this, I think, is going to come out of. So for us, it's a no-brainer. There are other reasons that the school system wants to do it, and the county is also self-funded, so they're doing it for some of these same reasons. And so the question comes up, well, how do you save $150,000? And Mr. Dozier, Wes Dozier is here tonight from 5 Points Benefits. He can explain some of the technicalities if you have any questions. But the simplified way to account for those savings is in the wholesale arrangement. Because we are the owners of the clinic, we are buying, I'll use a timely example, the COVID tests, okay, at wholesale versus paying for them. So if an employee goes and gets a COVID test on our health insurance plan or not on our health insurance plan, that COVID test they're going to pay, or get billed $150, $180, I think, in Blue Cross, for our old Blue Cross plan, when I got a COVID test, I think it was $210 that they billed insurance. Well, that COVID test is going to cost us somewhere around $70, okay, because we're buying it wholesale for the clinic. Now you take that and you apply that to the prescriptions, you apply it to medical supplies, where we're not going to pay $20 for 2 Tylenol, we're not going to get billed $20 for two aspirin or whatever the case. We're going to be paying wholesale. That's where all those savings add up. So this clinic will be free to employees, whether they're on our insurance or not. That's the eligibility. It's all employees. I would recommend that you all approve this tonight and establish the eligibility for you all, for this board, as well as our part-time employees. That would be the recommendation. That's what the county commission intends to do, I believe, or the county mayor takes to the county commission, and that's what the school board will do. And I believe that that would be a benefit to you all as well, because I know you all only work an hour a month. But if you,
I dare you.
You read the sign.
in exchange for that.
I work 24/7,
Yeah.
to correct you.
But as an added bonus, I think it would be beneficial for this board and our part-time employees. This is, we struggle to get part-time employees, right? Because we can't offer them benefits, and this is a benefit that we could offer to our part-time employees. That's what the school system's going to be using this for bus drivers, since they can't offer bus drivers health insurance and they struggle there. So I would highly recommend that you all approve this and establishing the eligibility for all full-time employees, including their dependents, as well as the governing body and part-time employees.
Any questions?
I
Yes, sir,
approve.
Mr. Trotter.
Oh.
He said we work an hour a month. Where were you last night when the lights went out and I was getting phone calls?
That's right.
Up until 10:30 last night.
I received
Yeah.
a text at 1:30 a.m.
It was a long night, we'll just put it that way.
Mr. Martin was still making phone calls. He was calling me. We like to harass him, but he was still working. Yes, sir.
No, it's a lot
This
of
is
reading,
great.
but I approve of it. I think our employees, is from getting feedback,
It's a nice
they
benefit.
like it, yeah.
Yeah. Any questions? No questions? We're ready for a vote. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. 3.5.
Thank you all.
You're welcome.
Thank you for working on that so hard. 3.5, discuss and possible take action to approve change order number 2 in the amount of $10,500 for the contract of Texcoat Inc. for the filter media replacement at the water treatment plant. The revised contract amount is $320,267. Motion made by Alderman Hubbard, a second by Alderman Green. Any questions on this change order?
How we doing, Mr. Beers?
Good, fine.
We on track?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Beers has a lot less on our agenda in the last couple of months.
Just wait.
I was trying to be nice to him, okay?
Give
He
some-
gets beat up.
He does.
He's
Every-
We're building a wastewater treatment plant, so just give it a few months.
Let it rest,
His
okay?
hair has actually started coming back in.
I was gonna say that.
For years, that has been the hot seat for department heads. We won't even talk about all of those years of picking on him. Any questions? No questions, we're ready for a vote. I'm not gonna let anybody else beat him up anymore.
He's a TSU graduate, he got tough skin.
That's
Big
right.
lip.
Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
3.6, discuss and possible take action to approve the contract with Scott and Ritter, Inc. in the amount of $99,785 for the Greenbrier Pump Station Replacement Project. Motion made by Alderman Hubbard, a second by Alderman Arnold. Any questions on this? We've talked about this for a while, so time to get that underway.
That's right.
No questions? We're ready for a vote. Mr. Hubbard, did you have something?
No, I just
Okay.
help our neighbors.
Yes. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you so much. Consent doc.
Mayor, I suggest we take them individually tonight. I always say as a whole. Table one.
You know, when I was,
Oh, wow. You got jokes. He good.
oh, we usually don't have quite this much fun up here, but tonight, we've all got the giggles. Our consent doc, our one item on our consent doc, the gas department's requesting. Motion was made by Vice Mayor Harris, a second by Alderman Hubbard. Any discussion? As we take this all in one vote. We're ready for a vote. Anyone like to change their vote? Please record the votes.
Did you need to abstain?
Just harassing Tim.
Oh.
Gonna change my vote.
Well, what would you like to change it to?
Hey. I'll vote for it.
Motion passes 7-0.
He was
Thank you.
pushing quick, he's trying to get out.
Thank you so much.
Before somebody start bringing on Martin, then
He's gonna-
I'm going to call on our city manager, Mr. Ryan Martin, for his city report.
Thank you. I'll be very brief, Mayor, although I think I got 27 minutes left.
Sir,
But,
do
that's
you
your
remember
time.
how long we worked for strategic planning?
That's right. I had you there late. I'll make up for it tonight. Give you a quick update on a couple of things. The fire station donation, we talked at strategic planning about doing some geotechnical work on that site. Before, one of the things that we realized we had to get squared away first is sewer. And so Mr. Beers they've done some measuring and he's doing some calculations to determine the cost of getting sewer to that property because of where it is. And so if that is a burdensome number, then we'll bring that back to you all and say, hey, do you still want us to move forward with geotech? If it's negligible, then we'll move forward with putting out geotech, which is probably gonna be in the range of $20,000 to $25,000. So, we'll do that next, and I'll keep you updated on that. The traffic committee is studying, they've met, and they've been researching and studying the on-street parking issues that were raised, so we hope to have something from them fairly soon. Sales tax continues to be positive. Our local option sales tax through 7 months of the year is still almost 6 months of the year is still 14% ahead of budget. So that's about $500,000 in excess so far of what we budgeted. State sales tax is also running significantly ahead of budget. Our system development fee study draft report was sent to us today. We'll have a date soon. Hopefully that will be coordinated with the board meeting. We're going to try to work that out to make sure, but that draft, the presentation of the report Hopefully, we don't have to have a special meeting for that. We'll try to do that. But that's exciting. That project is wrapping up, so we should have a presentation and a draft ordinance, whatever you all decide to do after the report, ready to roll soon. And then, you know, we instituted the Motel Tax. We'd started that process a couple of years ago. The state legislature finally cleared the path for that and did so. We are 3 months into collections and have collected over $40,000 in revenue. That's a little bit higher than our projections, so that's good. We had projected low, and so that's a little bit higher. So we will be developing, you know, you all in that process, we discussed how we would be working through and determining how best to accomplish the tourism mission, and so we'll have a recommendation on that within the next month or two, I would expect. So, good news, positive news.
Thank you. And we'll have Good Morning Robertson County right here in this room on Thursday morning at 7:30 if you'd like to join us. Sir?
Yes, ma'am. Let us pray for our troops who's in the conflict, both 82nd Airborne and the 101st. And we have Springfield young men that are in both of those units and their families who's left behind, okay?
Thank you.
All right, you too.
Anything else? Meeting is adjourned.